Hey guys, I'm Jenny with Roots and Wings Furniture, and this is the tutorial video to go with the refinish box. I am so excited you're here because that means you have your refinish box and you're ready for painting. I have designed this box to simplify the refinishing process and really give you all the resources you need in one place. So I hope you enjoy painting furniture as much as I do. I would recommend watching the video through before you get started on your project just so you can have all of your questions answered. If you have more questions, please refer to our Q&A page on our website at rootsandwingsfurniture.com. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to shoot me an email, info@rootsandwingsfurniture.com. So without further ado, let's get into the box. Alright, first thing in the box is the paint. This is General Finishes Milk Paint. I love this paint. I've been using it myself for a couple years. It gives a really nice finish, somewhere between a satin and a flat. It's just really nice, looks really professional, and it gives a really smooth appearance. So that's why I chose this paint. It doesn't need a top coat either, so it goes on really well. It has good adhering properties, and then you don't have to seal it if you don't want to. So that's why I chose this paint. I think you're really going to like it. And a pint of this little pint, goes a long way. So don't feel like you don't have enough. You're probably going to have enough with just this can. The next thing in the box is the brush. This is the Purdy paintbrush. I used to think that it wasn't a big deal to buy the cheaper brushes. Finally splurged and bought one of these, and I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. It really reduces paint lines. You can't see brush strokes, and so this brush is where it's at, I'm telling you. Take good care of it, it'll last you a long time. Next in your box, sandpaper. You should have two different kinds and 2 sheets each, the 220 as well as the 120. Again, this sandpaper will last you a long time. You might have more here than you need for your project, but that's okay. You can find something else for it, I'm sure. A few other things, paint can opener, stir stick, and then if you chose hardware to go inside your box, you'll also find hardware. We have some great hardware options on our website, so look at that. And then the only other things you'll need will be a flathead screwdriver, a few wet paper towels, and a piece to paint. So that's all for the products. That's all we're going to need, and that's all we're going to use. Alright, next up is sanding. Go ahead and grab your 220 sandpaper. I like to fold it in my hand, and then you're just going to rub this on the piece. You can use circular motions or straight lines, whatever you like. We're just going to scratch up the existing finish so the paint has something to stick to. Okay, grab one of your damp paper towels and just go ahead and wipe up all the dust at this point. If your piece needs heavier cleaning, go ahead and refer to our Q&A page. There are some heavier duty cleaning products there that are safe to use under the paint. So if you need that, go ahead and look there, but otherwise I usually find a damp rag is enough. If you're using Snow White, which is our whitest white, you'll want to use a stain blocking primer first. You'll apply this just like you would the first coat of paint right after sanding. White really just takes a few more coats of paint, so be prepared for that. I'd usually say 3 to 4 coats. Most of the other colors only take 2, but white, just use the primer. It'll just make sure that nothing bleeds through, so you won't have a pink piece at the end instead of white. And a few other tips. If your piece has glass, feel free to get paint on the glass. If you have a glass door or a mirror, you can paint on it and be messy. The paint will come right off with a straight edge razor and a little bit of glass cleaner, so you really don't have to take the time to tape off the glass unless you just really want to. Also, if you have doors with hinges, you can paint the hinges if you like the look of that. Just be prepared when you use the hinges. Some of the paint will chip off a little bit. It'll give it kind of the distressed look. So if that bothers you, go ahead and tape off your hinges and just keep it the metal look. And if you have drawers, I usually like to paint the top edge of the drawer. I personally don't like to paint inside the drawers, but you definitely can if you'd like. So that's totally up to you. Alright, we're going to get started with the first coat of paint. Dip your brush in about 1/3 of the way and wipe your brush on the edge of the can. And then we're going to start painting. Just use long, even strokes and keep going back and checking your work to make sure there are no drips. If you have a really detailed section on your piece, make sure you pay attention and watch for drips here. And you're just going to do the piece section by section, like the top, sides, back, legs. Just do it that way so you don't miss any spots. I checked for drips and we are good. At this point, don't freak out. It might look a little bit streaky. You can see some wood showing through. The second coat will look so much better. It'll really clean it up. So don't freak out at this point, but we've got our first coat of paint on. You're gonna let it dry for 2 to 4 hours, depending on humidity. It should dry pretty quickly, and then you'll be ready to do it all over again. The baggie that came in the kit, you can keep your paintbrush in the plastic bag. You just put the bag on and seal it up, and that will keep it from drying out while you're waiting for your piece to dry. If you're not going to come back to your piece for a couple days or 24 hours, go ahead and wash out your brush with warm water just until the water runs clear. So that's it. We're going to let it sit and dry, and we'll be back. Okay, we're ready for the second coat, and we're really going to do this the same as the first. Again, remember long even strokes, and then just paint your piece, top, sides, bottom, however you want to do it logically. All right, once the second coat is dry, you are ready for distressing. Go ahead and grab your 120 grit sandpaper. I like to fold it in my hand again, and then I'm just gonna go over the raised edges of the the places where you would naturally get wear and tear. And I just like to sand it down to the bare wood so that shows through. All right, once you are finished distressing, go ahead and wipe your piece with a damp rag, get all the dust off, and then once you are finished wiping it off, you are finished. Let your piece dry 24 hours before light use, and be gentle with it for the first 2 to 3 weeks. It takes that amount of time for the paint to really cure, so just be careful if you're moving it around. Try not to put anything heavy on it during that time so it won't mark up the finish. All right, and you are finished. I hope you enjoyed painting as much as I do and you enjoy your finished piece. Please share your pictures with us. We would love to see what you have created. Share with us on our Facebook page or on Instagram using hashtag #REFINISHBOX. If you have any other questions, please feel free to get in touch. Again, info@rootsandwingsfurniture.com. Thank you so much for watching, and happy painting.